We return as What's the Scoop is back, and we have BT-17, and we are going to be focusing on the new Omnimon cards released in the set. But as always, before I get into it, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It does help out. We are on the search to 250 subs, and it would be great if you could join along with us and have a great time on the ride as we are growing the Ed Army one day at a time and with your help. So let's get into the new Digimon today. We're starting off with a brand new Agumon, not surprisingly, that goes along with this line. And this is a rather unique Agumon because it is the very first Agumon to be able to Digivolve on top of generically red and blue Digi-Eggs for a cost of 0 on top of any level 2, which is very nice. And that is very unique. As we start off, the new Agumon has its special evolution condition as always to Digivolve on top of Koromon for a cost of 0, and reads as follows. At the start of your main phase, if you have a tamer with Taikamiya in its name, return one card with Garurumon, Greymon, or Omnimon in its name from your trash to the hand. And for its inheritable, at the end of your turn, this Digimon and another of your Digimon may DNA Digivolve into a Digimon card in the hand. Moving on to the brand new Gabumon that is basically the mirror to this Agumon. It can generically Digivolve on top of red and blue as well for a cost of 0. And we have a special evolution condition for Sunomon that can Digivolve on top of any Sunomon for a cost of 0. So starting off at the start of your main phase, if you have a tamer with Matt Ishida in its name, you get to draw one card. And then for its inheritable at the end of your turn, this Digimon and another of your Digimon may DNA Digivolve into a Digimon card in the hand. So very much similar and basically repetitive to the Agumon, but does allow you to get some draws. Moving into the brand new level 6s for this line, because this is where the line moves to next, we have War Greymon, who's returning here, and it is back to being a normal red level 6, Digivolving on top of any red level 5 for a cost of 3, and has a special evolution condition that allows it to Digivolve on top of any level 5 with Greymon in its name for a cost of 3, and has a on play and when Digivolving effect, and has a special condition that when this card would be played, if you have a tamer with Taikamiya in its name, you can reduce the play cost by 3. Then on play and when Digivolving, you can activate one of the following effects below. First, you delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 8000 DP or less, or one of your Gabumon may Digivolve into Metal Garurumon in the hand, ignoring its Digi-Evolution requirements, and without paying the cost. For its inheritable, when attacking once per turn, if this Digimon has Omnimon in its name, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. Moving into the brand new level 6 or the brand new Metal Garurumon for this line, we have it returning very similarly to a War Greymon, being a blue level 6 that can Digivolve on top of any blue level 5 for a cost of 3. And additionally has a special evolution condition to Digivolve on top of any level 5 with Garurumon in its name for a cost of 3. Then very similarly, when this card would be played, if you have a tamer with Matt Ishida in its name, you reduce the play cost by 3. Then on play and when Digivolving, activate one of the following effects below. First, one of your opponent's Digimon or tamers can't suspend until the end of their turn. And then additionally, one of your Agumon may Digivolve into War Greymon in the hand, ignoring its Digi-Evolution requirements and without paying the cost. Then for its inheritable, when attacking once per turn, if this Digimon has Omnimon in its name, you can unsuspend it. So very, very good. Now, moving into the brand new and the first Omegamon or Omnimon Ace, we have our first of a few level 7 Ace Digimon. So this Digimon has a play cost of 9 and can generically Digivolve on top of any of the red and level or blue level 6s for a cost of 5. Then Digivolving DNA specifically, DNA Digivolving with a level 6 with Greymon in name and one level 6 with Garurumon in name for a cost of 0. This Digimon is an Ace Digimon, so it does carry the hand blast counter of evolution mechanic, but is specifically for DNA, so it's specifically War Greymon and Middle Garurumon that can blast Digivolve together into this Digimon. So you have that, and then generically you have it has new effects that specifically are for the Digimon. We have Raid and we have Blocker, so being able to be defensive and offensive. Then for its actual additional effect, it has on play and when Digivolving, if DNA Digivolving, you choose one of your opponent's Digimon and return it and all of their Digimon with the same level as it to the bottom of the deck. Then you delete one of their Digimon. Since this is an Ace Digimon, it does carry the overflow of -5. Now we move into the brand new tamer. We have a brand new dual tamer of Matt and Tai, which reads as follows. All turns, when one of your Digimon is played or Digivolves by suspending this tamer, if you have a Digimon with Greymon in its name, you gain 1 memory. If you have one with Garurumon in its name, you gain 1 memory. Then at the end of your turn, once per turn, one of your Digimon with Omnimon in its name may attack a player. Then for security, you simply just play it out. And to go along with these cards, we finally have another option that's going to decisively help you bring out Omegamon as well. And we have the brand new Miraculous Mega Knight, which for its main effect, you may play one Agumon or Gabumon from your hand or trash without paying the cost. Then you place this card in the battle area. Then all turns, when one of your level 6 Digimon with Greymon or Garurumon in its name would leave the battle area outside of battle, this delay effect will activate. That Digimon and a card in the hand may DNA Digivolve into a Digimon card with Omnimon in its name in the hand. So very cool. Then for its security effect, it reads as follows. You may play one card with Tai Kamiya or Madashita in its name from your hand or trash without paying the cost. Then you add this card to the hand. Okay, guys, that's all the new cards coming from BT-17 that are specifically for the Omnimon line. Let's get into the cards that you can use for supporting this strategy. So first and foremost, this Digimon line is very reminiscent to obviously EX4's Alter S line, as very much some of the effects kind of coincide together, where you obviously have the option cards to assist with bringing out Blitz Greymon and Crest Garurumon are very similar to, say, the new Miraculous Mega Knight, and the new Matt and Tai are very different than the Matt and Tai from EX4, whereas the Matt and Tai from EX4's effect is seemingly printed onto Miraculous Mega Knight as its main effect, so it does allow it to bring more Agumon and Gabumon into the area. Now, these are the cards that kind of coincide, as I do think the Alter S line cards or support cards are going to be the best way to get this Digimon line running, at least for right now, because they're the only dual color cards that work together, blue and red, that also would allow you to generate this playstyle that you want. And Alter S could be an additional level 7 if you really just want to run it as well. But we get to the part where I'm going to talk a little bit about the strategy. So one thing I find interesting is if we were to talk about these cards outside of their archetype, I think the better ones are obviously going to be the Garurumon cards. Funny enough, once again, they actually take the cake in my opinion, because Gabumon is just generically really good. And the Metal Garurumon's effect to allow your Omnimon to unsuspend would be really good in Melgar or any type of Garurumon-based strategy where you have Omnimon as the top end. He could go on top of this one specifically, or even if you play, obviously I said Metal Garurumon X line Digimon. If you go into Metal Garurumon X on top of this Metal Garurumon, it's really good, because then all of a sudden the next thing you do, you can stop your opponent from suspending one of their Digimon. Then you go into Omnimon immediately with this one. So if you did a swing or hadn't, you can go and use Blitz Omni's effect to attack. Then once you attack with Blitz Omni's effect, you can use the inheritable of this Metal Garurumon to immediately put it back into, unsuspended. So it would be really good to get either another attack or just basically set up for blocking if you need it. So you do have those abilities. The Agumon and War Greymon from this line I don't think are bad at all. I think they're pretty good. It's just for specifically the Agumon, it having a recovery effect is fine, but I don't really see people using it that much or wanting to use it that much, because there's no reason you'd really want to recover cards out of your graveyard to your hand and then use the resources there. There's more than not, you're going to be bottom decking them with other cards. And the new War Greymon is actually not too bad. I wish instead of it having a blowing up effect, that maybe it did something kind of like Black War Greymon, where you could blow up tamers, just because it would allow it to be a little bit more efficient instead of being slow. And its inheritable effect is very, very good. I do think that inheritable effect is very nice, because allowing you to trash the top card of security can make the difference if you're using Omnimon for game, between winning the game and or just finishing your opponent. So, very good. The new Omnimon Ace I think is fine. The only issue I see with it is that in the actual decks you're going to play it in, there's still not enough cards, I think, to get the synergy right, where I think this deck will struggle at first. So I think another wave of support is needed. Maybe a entire Greymon and Garurumon line to kind of go up between blue and red would probably be what's needed here, so that you don't have to worry about having maybe a slow progression to your level 6s, which is, I think, the problem here. And one of the cards one of these effects I think they could have really done to make these decks a bit better was maybe having a conditional warp effect like the BT-14 and BT-15 Agumon and Gabumon. is I do think these Agumon and Gabumon should have been able to warp Digivolve as well into, say, Wargreymon and Melgarurumon, and I do think this would be fair because if you look at these Digimon, their biggest problem, I think, is getting to the setup you need to get into Omnimon Ace, and I do think by allowing them to warp Digivolve but between these two as well, you would be able to play effectively like 12 rookies, depending on the color you want to go with, because you can't really play both the BT-14 and 15 Digimon respectively because they don't have generic level abilities to go on top of the other colors. So you would have to find a way to kind of get them in there that way. But that's just kind of my recommendations. I do think this line's really good, and it will see play at some point. It's just making more support. So that's all I've got for you guys today, and pretty much enjoy. We will be having more BT-17 cards and more of the What's a Scoop for BT-17 coming up. But that's all I've got for you guys today. And as always, this is Brad from the Ad Army signing off. And for all of you out there, to sign on.